3 individuals in each of those categories, and new this year, film and video directors, which will be recognized. That makes 5 in this inaugural class. Let's give a round of applause, okay, for all our recipients in attendance today. Our first group of honorees are assistant coaches. They're the guys who carry out the vision of their head coach. Let's hear about their day-to-day responsibilities in this video, narrated by Steve Weish of the NFL Network. The Dons, join in now. Well, let me tell you, they work really hard, okay? Now, right now, we're going to meet our 3 coaching honorees right after this film.
40-hour work weeks for assistant coaches in the National Football League? Sure, if you're counting only Mondays and Tuesdays. Becoming a successful and sought-after assistant to one of the league's 32 head coaches means more than dedication and long hours. The job requires the skills of a master tactician in a world of complex X's and O's, as well as someone who can take those concepts from the playbook and instill them on the practice field as an effective teacher and mentor to the players. Coaches won't last long if they can't speak a language the players understand. They also won't last long if they can't filter out the noise that comes with any large organization of ultra-competitive individuals in a high-stress environment. Oh, there will be squabbles, but a good assistant keeps those problems from reaching the head coach. A great assistant squashes small issues before they become big issues that infect the locker room. The ability to switch hats nimbly from off-field counselor and confidant back to on-field teacher and motivator distinguishes the truly special assistant coaches. Every day, whether it's 20 hours long or only 12, they reinforce the head coach's plan and his vision for success.
Our first honoree is Sherman Lewis. Sherm began his coaching career as an assistant at his alma mater, Michigan State, where he had been an All-American halfback who finished 3rd in the Heisman Trophy balloting in 1963. Winner that year, Roger Staubach. He coached with the Spartans for 14 seasons, then made the jump to the NFL, making his mark as an NFL assistant with the 49ers, the Packers, the Vikings, the Lions, and the Redskins. He won 3 Super Bowls with the 49ers, another with the Packers. Ladies and gentlemen, Sherm Lewis. Sherm, your time at Michigan State, just give us a glimpse into what it was like being there, especially with Duffy Daugherty.
Well, it was a great experience for me. Duffy, as you know, is one of the greatest guys of all times coaching and one of the funniest guys. And he made coaching funny. You know, we worked hard, but he made sure that we understood that there was still a lot of other things a little more important than that. So I enjoyed my time with Duffy, and I'm thankful to him to this day for hiring me and getting me started. So.
Well, and back in those days, it was unusual for the situation for the players he brought in from all around the country and in Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, he was one of the first guys to bring a lot of kids in from the South to Michigan State, and I was on the borderline from Kentucky, but he went to Texas and Georgia and everywhere down there when kids couldn't play down there, and he brought them to Michigan State, and of course Michigan State went on to win national championships because of it. So.
It's so great to have Jimmy Ray in the audience today. Huh?
Jimmy Ray's one of those guys from Fayetteville, North Carolina. He's the pride.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sherm.
Thank you.
Well, our next honoree hasn't quite hung up his headset. At 84 years. Tom, really? 84 years old, or young, he's still in the game, coming back for another season with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like Coach Lewis, Coach Moore also began his career at his alma mater, the University of Iowa. Several years and few jobs later, he reached the NFL with Hall of Fame coach Chuck Noll, where Tom won 2 Super Bowls as a member of the Steelers staff. He later was a longtime offensive coordinator in Indianapolis, where he had Peyton Manning, and they produced a Super Bowl title. He won his 4th ring a couple of seasons ago with Tom Brady in Tampa. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Moore.
How you doing?
Hello, young man.
It's great to be here.
You know, obviously you've been asked about Manning and Brady, but what trait do you look for in a quarterback?
Well, the biggest thing you want is work ethic, the dedication to the game. It's a great game, and people that perform it should be at their best because a lot of people come to watch them play. And those 2 guys exhibited the greatest of execution, perfection, and hard work.
And being an assistant coach, what type of lesson would you want to give to young kids that want to be coaches, that maybe want to be a head coach, but maybe it's not such a great deal?
Well, the biggest thing, do you want to be or you just want to talk about it? And there's a big difference. If you just want to talk about it, then you shouldn't be it. But if you want to be it, you got to pay the price, you got to be dedicated, you got to love it. It's got to be a dream. Dan, I've lived a dream.
Well, good luck this season. Looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom. Well, our next honoree is really having a great year in 2023. Dante Scarnecchia is 34 years in the NFL, all but 2 with the Patriots, have seen him in a lead position on offense, defense, and special teams. He's probably best known as the offensive line coach for the Patriots, annually building a unit with a few big-name players into a cohesive group that gave that guy named Brady time to pick apart opposing defenses. The result was 6 Super Bowl rings with the Patriots dynasty. And this year, in addition to the Award of Excellence, a spot in the Patriots Hall of Fame. Ladies and gentlemen, Dante Scarnecchia. You know, the offensive line, as I said, very few guys that were, first-round picks that, were stars, but as a unit, they were stars. How do you mold a group of guys like that?
I think
year after year.
I honestly think that, you get what you ask of them, and we've been fortunate to have a bunch of guys that have played there over a long period of time that had the traits that we really, thought were important to be offensive linemen for us, and they had them. They had them all just the way you wanted them to be, and whatever you asked them to do, they did, and we couldn't have had better guys to do it.
What were those traits, though?
They had to be smart. They had to be geniuses, but they had to be smart. They had to be tough. That was non-negotiable. And they had to be athletic enough to play the positions that we wanted them to play. And that was it.
Well, I loved offensive linemen, and I still do.
I know you do.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, one more time for our assistant coaches. Sherm Lewis, Tom Moore, Dante Scarnecchia. Our second group of honorees is athletic trainers, the individuals who work tirelessly to keep players in top condition, help them recover from eventual bumps and bruises and sprains. Let's hear more from Sam Weish.
If fans of the National Football League didn't already appreciate the role of athletic trainers in the game, the night of January 2nd, 2023, raised their awareness forever. In the first quarter of the regular season Monday Night Football game between the Buffalo Bills and Cincinnati Bengals, Bills safety Damar Hamlin collapsed on the field after making a tackle. First on the scene, the Bills' athletic training staff. They performed life-saving aid in those crucial early minutes, and remarkably, Damar has been cleared to return to the field. Not every athletic trainer will be placed in such a harrowing situation, but each is prepared for that possibility. NFL athletic trainers are responsible for the primary treatment and rehabilitation of injuries or illnesses players sustain over the course of an NFL season. They help a player get back into the game after missing only one play, all the way up to coordinating the care needed to bring back a player who sustained a season-ending injury. Prevention is the first line of defense, of course. Monitoring a player's hydration, rest, and exercise regimens can minimize the risk of injuries, and the healthiest teams often are the ones still playing in January. Ace wraps, ice, tape, and scissors are only a small part of their resources. Their most valuable tool is their ability to build trust with the players and the coaching staff. They can properly treat only what they know about, but once they know, the rest lies in their capable and caring hands.
Our first honoree is J. Lindsey McClain. Lindsey's career of more than 40 years in college and professional football included 24 seasons as the head athletic trainer with the Niners. His many professional accolades include induction in the National Athletic Trainers Association Hall of Fame and the Tim Karen Award for Athletic Training Excellence. McClain was part of 5 Super Bowl winning teams with the 49ers, but one of his greatest legacies is sitting right down in front, our friend Bryant Young. McClain played a role in his recovery of just a gruesome injury to his leg back in 1998. Well, all Bryant would do is go on to be named NFL Comeback Player of the Year the next year, and last year was named to the Hall of Fame class of 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, Lindsey McClain.
Congratulations.
Well, there's your guy right there taking our picture. Tell us a little bit. I mean, there's so much that goes into the physical part of being a trainer, but you kind of have to be like a psychiatrist at times too, as far as getting over the hurdles.
You do, and I would say that be wise. Thanks for being here. I had very little to do with him getting back to playing football because he wanted to, and he told us on the field when he got hurt that he'd be back. And all I was concerned about at that time was getting him off the field and into to the hospital. We had a great orthopedic surgeon take care of him, and my staff did a great job with his rehab. And it's just a pleasure to work with people like that, because they do appreciate you. And I know going back to the 49ers for the reunions, they do like the athletic trainers.
Yes, we do. There's a couple guys at that table over there that could use a little rub down too. Thanks, Lindsey.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Our next honoree is Bob Reese. Bob's first job in the NFL came in Buffalo, but it was with the New York Jets that he truly made his mark. He was head trainer for the Jets for 19 seasons, guiding his staff to the league's first Ed Block NFL Athletic Training Staff of the Year award in 1985. It was Bob who led the league-wide efforts for more thorough pre-draft screening of college prospects, and his emphasis on player safety included a stint on the NFL committee studying concussions. Bob could not attend today's luncheon, but he did record these words. Please listen. Are there any lip readers? Okay. Shall we move on? Bob Reese, ladies and gentlemen. And Bob, we know you're watching at home, and we congratulate you on your great career, and we apologize for the video. Our third nominee, or honoree, in the athletic trainers category is Lamar Tyre. Well, he's better known as Bubba Tyre. Bubba was a member of the athletic training staff in Washington for nearly 4 decades, 25 of them as the head athletic trainer, and later as the director of sports medicine. He helped teams reach 5 Super Bowls under Hall of Fame coaches George Allen and Joe Gibbs, with Bubba winning 3 rings. He's a member of Washington's Ring of Fame, a past winner of the Ed Block NFL Training Staff of the Year Award, and a former president of the Professional Athletic Trainers Society. Ladies and gentlemen, Bubba Tyre. Congratulations. 3 Super Bowls, Ring of Fame, and an outstanding career. What does this honor mean to you, Bubba?
Well, it's really special. I've been retired for 15 years. This will be my 15th year. And to be recognized now by the Hall of Fame for the work that we've done, and the video directors, the equipment managers, our assistant coaches, it's just a very special time for us.
Did you enjoy taping ankles?
Yeah. I didn't like taping rookies. I wouldn't tape a rookie, but I
Good for you.
yeah, that was it.
You got 10 minutes after the show, and my left ankle's killing me, man.
I got you.
Congratulations. One more time for their trainers. Lindsey Nelson, Bob Reese, Bubba Tyre. Now our next group is the equipment managers. Those are the guys that pack and move all the gear a team needs for game day. And as you hear from Steve Weish, they do a whole lot more than that.
The game ball this week goes to our equipment staff.
Take someone with equal parts logistics specialist, MacGyver-like adaptability, and a willingness to push through mountains of dirty laundry and other unglamorous but vital tasks for an organization, and you begin to get the idea of life as an equipment manager in the National Football League. This is not the job for someone looking for the spotlight. But it's the equipment managers who provide the oil for the complex machines that are the 32-member NFL clubs. Virtually nothing rolls into or out of an NFL locker room without the equipment manager and his staff providing the muscle. From OTAs, through mini camps, into training camp and the regular season, and with the right bounces, the postseason. Equipment managers outfit players and coaches. They purchase and maintain equipment. They fit the gear. They transport it to the stadium for all away games and even for most home games, since teams typically don't practice at the game day stadium. After practices and games, they wash, sanitize, fold, and organize everything made of cotton. With the usual bumps, bruises, and broken bones over the course of an NFL season, equipment managers work closely with athletic trainers. Often, they're called on to modify standard gear. More than one player has worn a size 12 shoe on one foot and a size 13 or 14 on another to cover and protect the well-wrapped tape holding a sore ankle in place. When you think about what makes a team or a club great, it's the individuals who put others ahead of themselves. Those are equipment managers.
Our first honoree in this category is William Buchanan, known as Buck to former Cowboy coaches and players. Buck won Super Bowls with Hall of Fame coaches Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson, and nearly 24 Hall of Fame players in a football career that spanned from 1973 to 1994 in Dallas. And while we sometimes call football players heroes, well, Buck was a true hero of the U.S. Armed Forces. With stints in the U.S. Army during the conflict with Korea, then with the U.S. Air Force, when he attained the rank of Staff Master Sergeant. Buck was succeeded in the role as Cowboys equipment manager in 1994 by his son, Bucky, who is here today representing his father. Ladies and gentlemen, Bucky Buchanan. Bucky, good to see you. You know, having a dad who was so, I guess famous in what all he did, and then you have the pressure of following him. What was the one thing that he stressed for you?
Work your tail off.
All right, thank you. Well, we're on TV, man.
I know it. I don't speak a whole lot, so.
Well, you certainly have had a good career yourself, and obviously the Cowboys very much in the media all the time, but you guys are behind the scenes. Take us into the locker room and give us a little taste of what it's like to be America's team.
You see the chaos on the outside, it's more on the inside. It's just organized chaos with us.
Well, congratulations.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, Bucky. Our next honoree is Bob Noel, whom Hall of Fame coach Vince Lombardi hired as the Packers' first full-time equipment employee in the team's equipment department. He worked 43 years with the club, his final 17 as head equipment manager. He was part of 5 NFL championship teams. Like Buck, Bob also was elected posthumously. His family was unable to attend today's ceremony, so his award will be sent to his nephew and their family. But let's give a round of applause to Bob Noel. Our third honoree is Bill Simmons, the longtime equipment manager for the St. Louis Cardinals, including all 5 seasons in the 1970s with my dear friend, Hall of Fame coach Don Coryell. Bill came to the NFL after a lengthy career as a teacher and coach in high schools in the Midwest, and an even more distinguished career as a B-24 gunner with the U.S. Air Force. Bill is represented today by his grandson, Dave Murphy, and his son, Dan, who you'll recall received this award just last year. Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Murphy and Dan Simmons. Congratulations again, Dave. So, you win this last year, and now your dad wins it. Your feelings?
Unbelievable. It really is. It was an honor last year, and I can't say enough going in for my dad.
You betcha, bud. And Dave, any lessons that your grandpa gave you?
He taught me how to fish. That was the one thing. I still have his tackle box with his handwriting and the Cardinal logos all over it.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Good to see you, man. Hey, congratulations to the equipment managers today. Buck Buchanan, Bob Noel, Bill Simmons. Our next category being recognized today is making its debut, as Jim talked about earlier, film and video directors. And here's Steve Weiss to tell us about their contributions to our game.
Like every other job within the National Football League and its clubs, film director, and later video director, requires the ability to work with a diverse group of individuals at an intense pace. A so-called typical day starts early in the morning and might include meetings with coaches, then players in position groups. Then, it's off to practice to shoot the team in action. And in the afternoon, it's more meetings to watch what the eye in the sky saw at practice. If the video team isn't on the field capturing new footage, then it's in the editing room putting together what the coaches need to prepare their players for upcoming opponents. Mondays and Tuesdays can be the most hectic days, with several hours devoted to creating the cut-ups that become those important teaching tools. Unlike some of the other groups being honored today, the coaches, athletic trainers, and equipment managers, the video personnel from opposing teams typically work in shared space on game day. For that reason, they form a tight bond, and many of the honorees here today have known each other for decades and even helped one another make the challenging league-led transition that occurred from using film up through the 1985 season to all videotape starting in 1986. With each season, video directors gained more skill with the ever-evolving technology, and today, the video crews help make it possible for coaches and players to adapt game plans not week to week, but possession to possession.
Our first honoree in this new category is Mike Doherty, known to just about everybody as Doc. The Hall of Fame coach Dick Vermeil, who took a lot of his coaching ideas from Sid Gilman, and we'll talk about Sid in just a minute. Well, he hired Doc as the Philadelphia Eagles' first full-time film director in 1976. Doc held that job for the next 37 years, never missing a game for the next, get this, 736 times the Eagles took the field. He was inducted into the Sports Video Hall of Fame in 2015, being recognized in part for helping the NFL transition from film to video. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Doherty. Now, back in the day before this tape stuff came around, we had these films, and this little projector would go tick, 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 tick. And it was the best way to get a nap during those meetings.
I was going to say, a lot of players slept during them.
And then you go to video, you go to this tape stuff, and it's silent, and the coaches could hear everybody snoring.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're not real happy about that.
Well, we weren't real happy about it either. We, a lot of us did not vote to go to video. We were 16 millimeter people and very simple people. And, when we went to video, it became a sharing thing, which when we were in film, you would take the 16 millimeter, only one copy of the game, and you would share that. Now everybody gets everything from around the whole league, and it's amazing how far it's gone with all the different technologies that we have, and it's been fun doing it. It's been a great time.
Will you share with everybody again what you said last night?
I thank the families for being here. It's all about you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You got it.
Our next honoree in this new category holds the distinction of several firsts during his 40-plus years in the National Football League. Mickey Dukic became the first full-time cinematographer in the NFL when Hall of Fame coach Sid Gilman hired him in 1956 to film games and practices for the Los Angeles Rams. Mickey also was the first to employ various widths on his shots and high angles to help coaches and players see the game from new perspectives. In another innovation, catch this one, he attached a camera to a remote-controlled helicopter to create an early iteration of a drone. Too bad I didn't patent that thing. Ladies and gentlemen, accepting the award for the late Mickey Dukic is Larry Clerico, who succeeded Mickey as film editor for the Rams. And joining Larry, our longtime LA Ram employees, Elaine Brewer and Barbara Nussgesser. What is that?
This is Al Tremel's 16 millimeter Kodak Cine special camera, and it was sent to us today so we could show you what was very innovative and first class back in the 1950s and 60s, and it all started here. Everything that Mickey, Mike Doherty, Tom Furmstead, Henry Cantu, Al Tremel, everything they started has progressed to what video and film is today. It's all digital now, of course, but it started back then. and Mickey was the pioneer, along with these gentlemen here honored. Also want to recognize Bob McCartney in the audience and Tony Siglio with me here today. I know you mentioned Elaine and Barb. There are two people that wanted to be here that could not. Ken Norris, who, like me, had a long career in film and video because of Mickey, and then Mickey's nephew, Nick Weber. So on behalf of Mickey, we are so proud to accept this award. So well deserved. Thank you for all of your hospitality and warmth.
All right, great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you in the elevator. Our third honoree in this group was the original film and video director for the expansion Seattle Seahawks. 1976, the Seahawks lured Tom Firmstad from the Vikings organization, and he held the director's position in Seattle for the next 36 seasons. Tom was another pioneer in the field that helped the league transition from film to video in 1986. Longtime co-chairman of the NFL Video Directors Committee, Tom was inducted into the Sports Video Hall of Fame in 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Firmstad. That's a pretty good picture of you up there. You look like a movie star yourself, bud.
Just like you.
Yeah, right. A couple of liars on stage right now. Yeah. So, you go to Seattle expansion team. What were the challenges for you in that job?
Well, because we had nothing, we had to buy everything, cameras, tripods, everything. And fortunately, they were generous and said, you don't have a budget. So, because they didn't know what they needed. So I was able to get what I felt was the best equipment money could buy.
But you go from Minnesota to Seattle. You go from snow and cold to rain and cold.
Yeah, but you don't shovel rain, so it's not so bad.
Congratulations, Tom. Henry Kuntu handled all of the film and video requests for the Buffalo Bills for 15 seasons as an outside contractor before someone finally got smart, realized to make him part of the organization officially. And he was, for the next 27 seasons, the full-time video director. His tenure with the team collided with its run to 4 Super Bowls. Another member of this group of honorees who played a big role in the league's move from film to video in '86. He served on the NFL Video Directors Committee for more than 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, Henry Kuntu. Congratulations, Henry.
Thank you.
Quite a group of players you had there in Buffalo for all those Super Bowl runs, led by Jim Kelly and Marv Levy.
It was an interesting bunch, to say the least. They were kind of a rebel bunch, but Marv Levy kept them intact.
Well, what was his saying?
Where would you rather be?
Then right here.
You got it.
And I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you, Henry.
it. Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you.
Our final honoree in this category of film and video directors is Al Tremmel. And like equipment manager Bob Noel, Al also traces his NFL career back to Vince Lombardi, who hired him as the second full-time film director in the league in 1967. He was elected as the first chair of the NFL Video Directors Committee. He's a member of the Packers Hall of Fame, elected in 2008, and he was inducted into the Sports Video Hall of Fame in 2014. Al is living in Florida and is unable to travel to Ohio for the ceremony, and accepting the award for Al is Mike Doherty.
Back again.
Took you a while.
Well,
No.
I figured out the way up
Tell me about your experience with Al and the camera.
This is Al's actual camera that he shot with for so many years with the Packers. Al's a true gentleman, class act, taught us all a lot. Him and Mickey were the guys that started all of us. And to learn from them, you couldn't learn from anybody better. And the Green Bay Packers, there's so many Packers in this place. Al is now one of them. And he's in the hospital. Went in yesterday for an operation, and keep him in your prayers.
We will do that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you.
How about another round of applause for our film and video directors, Mike Doherty, Mickey Dukic, Tom Fernstead, Henry Kuntu, and Al Tremmel. Now, our final group of award recipients are the promoters and protectors of the NFL and its member clubs. As Steve Weiss will tell us, they're never off the clock.
Of the 5 groups being recognized today, it easily can be argued that no area within the sport of professional football has changed more dramatically than the job of the public relations personnel, both at the National Football League and at its 32 member clubs. With an ever-changing media landscape and the ability of one person to start a publicity wildfire with an unsubstantiated rumor on a social media channel, today's PR teams are always on the clock. In simple terms, public relations personnel are the leagues and clubs' eyes, ears, and mouths with a duty to publicize, promote, and protect their organizations. The best in the profession adopt a servant mentality to ownership, management, the coaches, the players, the media, and ultimately to the fans and general public. Because virtually everything that happens on or off the field eventually touches the team and NFL in some way, the PR pros have dozens, if not hundreds of duties over the course of a week and a season. In the end, nothing is more important than trust. It must be built and maintained at all times. Every person the PR team deals with must come to know and believe that however unpopular a decision might be, the PR team is doing everything in its power for the greater good of the organization. Publicize, promote, protect.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Steve Weiss of the NFL Network? Steve donated his time to record those video clips, and such a great voice there. Someone who certainly knew what it meant to be on the clock at all times was Greg Aiello. After 11 years with the Dallas Cowboys, Greg moved to the NFL headquarters in New York. He served as the league's primary spokesman for much of the next 27 years, a period that included such moments as the 9/11 terrorist attacks, the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, the growth of the sport internationally, and the transition from Commissioner Paul Tagliabue to Roger Goodell. Under Goodell, Greg was elevated to Senior Vice President of Internal Communications. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Aiello. They almost stood up.
Almost.
Okay, how did working for the Cowboys help you go into the NFL?
Just knowing all the big issues. We were, the first year I was there was when this whole America's team phenomenon took off. And the Cowboys, we were in all kinds of national games, dealt with all of national media, and our general manager, present general manager was Tex Schramm, was in the Hall of Fame, and Gil Brandt, personnel guy, he's in the Hall of Fame. So there was a lot to learn. I had great mentors. Doug Todd, who hired me there, the late Doug Todd was great, and it was an experience that was enriching and prepared me to do other things.
So your non-disclosure agreement with the Cowboys, was that the same as the one with the league?
No, I don't have one. I'll wait for the offers to come and we'll see what happens. But no, it was a wild, exciting, exhilarating journey And it's hard all the different issues and all the talented people I got to work with was a tremendous experience, and I'm grateful for it.
It was a Hall of Fame journey. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Our next honoree is no stranger to Northeast Ohio, no stranger to about half the folks in the room right now. Kevin Byrne grew up in suburban Cleveland, began his career with the Browns in 1981 after a brief stint with the St. Louis Cardinals and Trans World Airlines. When the franchise moved to Baltimore, Kevin followed, and he remained with the Ravens until 2020, a total of 41 seasons in the league. Under his direction, the Ravens were 3-time winners of the Pete Rozelle Award. Now, that's given by the Pro Football Writers of America to the PR staff for its excellence and working relationship with the media. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Byrne.
I got pants.
Man,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Well, I've been in a number of places. I have a big family who are so important to my success, including Sally and the kids over there, and Coach Billick is over there, and Dick Cass, our former president, and all the people I work with. Thank you, guys.
Well, and they're so responsible under your leadership to receive the Pete Rozelle Award.
Yeah, we were fortunate. We had a good team. We had good people to work with. As you know, Dan, so many people in the NFL, and all the families represent this today. They're usually just outstanding people who bring great worth ethic and intelligence to the job.
And you're a great leader. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
I guess we're saving the best for last because our third recipient in the public relations group is Bud Thalman. His 3-act career included 11 years at the U.S. Naval Academy, where he helped lead the Heisman Trophy campaign for Roger Staubach, and 15 years in athletic administration at Penn State. Now, in between, he worked 13 years with the Buffalo Bills. He supervised a staff that worked 7 Super Bowls and twice served as the AFC's public relations director at the Pro Bowl. Ladies and gentlemen, Bud Thalman. Congratulations, Bud.
Thank you, Dan.
You know, you sneak in that last thing about the Pro Bowl. We all know why. Where was the game?
There was one in Tampa and one in Hawaii.
And which one did you like better?
I'll tell you something about the one in Hawaii.
But I've got the microphone, please.
You were the quarterback.
Come on, just put your hand down there.
You were the quarterback at the one in Hawaii.
That's right.
And it followed the game against Miami with the famed hook and lateral play that scored a touchdown, right?
Not for us, it didn't.
No. So when Shula put the hook and lateral play in at the Pro Bowl, your words were, "It's a damn high school play. It'll never work."
And we were behind by a field goal, and we were 80 yards away, and we had one play left. You know what play I called?
What?
The hook and ladder. Congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
Yeah, well deserved. No.
I have one question for you.
Okay.
Tell the people in this room what happened the play before you threw a touchdown pass to Ron Johnson.
All right, we're just about out of time, bud. Why do you love to tell this story?
It's a great story.
Well, for me it was, not for you. I threw a pass, hit Charles Romes. Charles Romes. He wore number 26. Well, after I hit him in the chest, it was 2.6. And he dropped it. And I said to Bud last night, I said, well, if he could catch, he'd play offense. Sorry for all you defensive backs in the room, but that's the way we thought.
Well, that's why you're in the hall and he isn't right now.
And you are too.
Good to see you.
Congratulations to our PR guys, Greg Aiello, Kevin Byrne, Bud Thalman. It's time to recognize a special guy, okay, that has helped supporting Bud. He's another individual who also has given a lot to this sport. Bill Wilhelm was an official at the high school football level. He worked games in 6 decades. Bill, stand up, will you, please? Applaud this commitment to youth football. All right, we just got a couple of housekeeping items as we wrap things up. All recipients are asked to please come to the stage and immediately get ready to take your class photo, okay? So as soon as I'm done talking, just run on up here. I'll get out of the way. And then after the group photo, the honorees will stay a few more minutes for additional individual and small group photos. We should have all the photos wrapped up in 15 to 20 minutes. In the meantime, the families can stay here and take their own pictures, or they can go on upstairs to check out the Hall of Fame staff that will soon unveil the new Awards of Excellence display once all the photos are completed. And again, I want to thank you all for you being here. Continue to support and love each other. Wish you all a safe ride home. It's been an honor for me to be here. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for attending the 2023 Pro Football Hall of Fame Awards of Excellence. As a reminder to our award winners, we will be calling you to the stage shortly for a group photo.